Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and this is the Storyteller Forecast for Virgo for December 2018. Go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, see my blog and other wealth of resources there, and also the link to sign up for a reading. I am open again off of sabbatical, and I'm taking on new clients for readings, so you can see more about that at anniehelpsyou.com. So what's going on in the month of December? We've got this beautiful wrap up of the retrograde focus that we've had for most of 2018. We are setting ourselves up for a brilliant new year, an actual clean slate, a new year that feels like a new year. Very often New Years don't feel like New Year's because of the transits that are occurring. And I have had many years where I've said, okay, it's a new year, but it kind of doesn't feel like one. But that's not true this year. Okay, this year, we are set up to have this brilliant new year in major opening of energies. With every week we move into December, the Mercury and Venus retrograde energies are dissipating. By the end of December, they're completely gone. At some point in January, we'll have all planets moving forward, including the outer planets. It's very rare to have that. So we're set up to really have December be very busy. Lots of major opportunities, lots of clearing up unfinished business to prepare for a brilliant new year with lots of major changes, very likely as well for many people. So besides all that, it's eclipse season again. So eclipse season is a time when major trajectory changes occur, and you know, something you're working on, all of a sudden, whoop, now you're going in this direction, you know, major beginnings, major endings. And we're going to feel those energies in December. So occasionally I'll have the question, even though I think I'm very clear about this, I talk about eclipses before they happen because you will very likely feel them in the time before, okay? So I want you to be prepared for these things. I want you to understand when things start happening, what they're part of, what you can expect them to understand the energies more. So there are two eclipses in January. One is in early January and one is later in January. I'm going to talk about the implications for each of the Virgo placements, early, middle, and late degree, for the first eclipse in this December report, and then we'll talk about the second eclipse in the January report, which you'll also have a month early. So in December, when you'll be feeling these eclipses, you'll have the information about both of them there for you between this report and the next one, okay? So some people will be holding space for others having major change and looking around saying, what the heck is going on? Now you know what's going on. The eclipses are going on. Some of you will be the ones having these crazy changes, and some of you will be in both. You'll be holding space for other people while you're navigating like a ninja your own radical changes. So this is a very exciting time of newness, clean slate. We're also moving along this continuum of the eclipse cycle, which I'll go into more details about. I had overwhelming excitement in the feedback about these visuals that I gave last time for the charts, okay? So for years I've talked about the difference between early, middle, and late degree placements for different transits. But last month I, for the first time, showed you the difference, okay? So I'm going to continue that. So we're going to transition now into a video where I'll show you the where the eclipses are going to hit for your particular Virgo placement and how to figure out which placement you have, and the possible implications for that, plus anything else that wants to come out in the chart. Hello, Virgo friends. Okay, so if you're still with me, that means that you are very interested in hearing more about what can go on for Virgo placements this month and beyond, and also you're into learning about the why, not just the what, as far as what may be happening astrologically. So first we have to establish whether you're an early, middle, or late degree placement. As you will see clearly as we progress through the charts, there is a difference depending on what part of the Virgo sign you were born in, or what part of the Virgo sign your rising sign is, if you're watching for your rising sign or your moon sign. Okay, so early degree placements, you are the August born. Okay, so if you're in August, you're early. And if you're 0 to 9 degrees for your moon or rising, you're early. Okay, middle, you are, we'll say like the 1 through 10, September 1st through 10th. Sorry, it's hard to write on here. And then 10 through 19 degrees, if you're watching for your rising sign, is middle. Oopsie. All right, and then late is 11 through the rest of the sign. And then 20 through 29 degrees, if you're watching for your rising sign. Okay, so now that we have that established, and do pay attention to what I just said, and if you have a question about whether you're early, middle, or late, then definitely rewind and refer back. I do try to answer all the things that people ask me, but I am very overwhelmed with comments at this point. So if there's something that you can figure out from the video, then I ask you to just take the time to do that. Okay, so now, what's going on? Okay, so this month we have a very strong theme of work opportunities, and that's for every sign, okay? But what that's also bringing for some of you Virgo placements is also home opportunities, okay? So there is this cycle. Eclipse cycles last about 2 years. So from the middle of 2018 through the middle of 2020 is the Cancer Capricorn eclipse cycle. So for all signs, we're going to see major radical changes in home and work, our place out in the world, our place in the home, housing, you know, anything having to do with jobs and our areas of work are going to be in a major change cycle for all signs. And for middle and late degree placements, this theme is brought stronger into the forefront by the fact that the eclipses are taking place also influencing the 4th and 10th houses, which are the Capricorn and Cancer houses. Okay, so when you have something, so that's happening for late as well. So when you have energies that are both in the sign and the houses in question, it just doubles that storyline for you. Okay, so home and work is like right in your face for an extended period of time and changes there. So that's where some middle and late degree placements are going to see the biggest changes here are new opportunities in work, new opportunities in home, new family members, in-laws, pregnancies, you know, some other way that you add to your family or add to your house count or add to something with real estate is really coming up. And also some renewed relationships or changes in relationships, family relationships can also come to the forefront when we're in an eclipse cycle. All right, so just look out for that, especially middle and late degree placements. Now for the early and the rest of the middle degree placements, those eclipses, and this one in particular, let's just move these guys out of the way. Okay, so for you all, the eclipse is going, for the early placements, is going to be in the 5th house. You see, for you middle degree placements, it's going to be right on the line here. So whenever it's on the line, it can either be in the, you know, in either place. Okay, so you're either going to see it in your home energies, or you're going to see it in the 5th house, which we'll talk about. And sometimes people on, you know, in the middle there, they'll see it in both. So what does it look like when we have a solar eclipse? Remember, solar eclipses bring in new energy, new opportunities. And so we've had a lot of energy of retrogrades in play for a long time this year. So this is a period of time where a lot of actually very new things can come in. And maybe there'll be some tilts or some stories from the past. Sorry for the mowing. Always seems like that happens whenever I'm trying to record, right? Anyway, so the stories from the past could be continuing, but also brand new things can come in as far as 5th house. And the 5th house has to do with true love and romance. A Virgo placement is going to find their, especially early and middle, going to find their true love either during this time or somewhere in this cycle that goes between now and the middle of 2020. Their person, you know, their person that they're looking for, and I'm sure is looking for them. And sometimes it will be an intermediary person, but something new or something, a new chapter in a previous relationship, or something like that. Very active in the romance sector, basically. Also active in the children's sector. So many of Virgo placement, especially early and middle. But you late guys too, you still can have that too because of the energy in the 4th house can also relate to pregnancy. So if you're trying to have a baby, this could be a wonderful manifestation of the eclipse. If you're not, this could be a surprising manifestation from the eclipse. And it does, you know, hopefully a word to the wise is sufficient. If you're not trying to have children, you are extra fertile. So just watch that. Okay, the fifth house also has to do with hidden talents. So if you get this weird urge to do something new, do something different, take a class, something crazy you've always wanted to do, you could discover that you have a real great love or talent for something. So be on the lookout for that, for you early and middle degree placements especially. And the acting arts and performing arts and anything that puts you out in front of people involving leadership or showmanship, singing, athleticism, anything that makes you the star where people are looking at you. Those are all very well favored now. And so energetically, that's going to be a story for a while, especially for you early and middle degree placements, not just this eclipse, but also, the eclipses in this cycle to come. The eclipse cycle is from 2018 to 2020. So starting in the middle of this year, these stories that are going to be ongoing and evolving started to manifest. So we're in the second part of that. And things along the storyline can manifest any point along these years, but at the eclipse times, what I call eclipse season, the 4 to 6 weeks before eclipses, the 4 to 6 weeks after eclipses, is when they sort of get hot and more in your face. So January 5th is this 15 degree of Capricorn eclipse. And that is definitely going to start showing up even as soon as the end of November, possibly sooner for some people, but very hot in December for all of these work and home opportunities and hobbies for you early and middle hobbies, fun, getting a chance to cross things off your bucket list. So that's very, very current. In general, the Sag energies are very buoyant and optimistic. So I do want to talk more about what the general transits look like, give you some dates to look out for and other things to know. But my mission for this session was to help you understand the manifestations of the eclipses, because you will no doubt, many of you will be having these come up, and now you'll understand what's going on. As far as having to make a decision with things that come in, once you're towards the middle, especially end of December, it's going to be a better time, in January even better. We've been waiting for this opening up of energies to make decisions, to do important things, to take, do launches and things like that. And starting like around the 20th of December, all January and into February, there's a lot of forward movement. All the planets are going to be direct a little bit into January. That's a very rare occurrence. So if you've been finding things stalling or moving slowly with the retrograde cycle, you may find that things stampede forward in magical ways. And these eclipses can also definitely be catalysts for that. So look out for those changes, and let's look more at some of the general transits and things that you can expect with that. So the theme of December 2018 for all signs is ready to soar. Besides Jupiter getting deeper into Sagittarius, there are other reasons why this is the month that we have been waiting for such a long time. So this is the month that the long retrograde focus is finally ending. Most of the year of 2018, we've had personal planet retrogrades back to back and coinciding with each other. So even though the retrograde influences will still linger for most of the month, you'll definitely feel the cloak of retrograde energies becoming lighter and finally being removed at the end of the month. So Mercury is direct early in the month, December 6th. This change in directions coincides with the Sagittarius new moon, which we'll also talk about. It will take until December 18th for Venus to be done with its post-shadow period. Okay, so after December 18th, the Venus retrograde energy is completely done. But every day leading up to that, it's gone more and more anyway. And then December 25th is when the post-transit Mercury shadow period completely dissipates. And then we're going to be opening up into this brilliant and very rare period in January 2019 where every planet will be moving direct. So this is a really big time. So I've got some dates to note that we're going to go into details about, but in general, This month is about breaking free, being ready to soar, having liftoff, and we will have some things to look out for, and I will go into the details of that. So, in general, well, actually, before I go into the details of this month, the dates to watch, remember that you can get a more in-depth and written version of these general transits when you sign up for my free email newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com. Okay, so you get all of the general transit reports a month early, like I do all my horoscopes, via email when you sign up for my free email newsletter. So if you want to be kept up to date for your planning and have a written version, then definitely go there. Okay, so we start out the month. So here I've got our visuals. We're going to look at Venus and Uranus. Okay, so we're just kind of ignoring the rising energy. We're not focusing on houses in this reading. We're just focusing on the relationship between the planets because it's a general reading, okay? So Venus rules love and money. And whenever we have Venus opposing Uranus, we're generally in for surprises involving love and money. Sometimes they can be great surprises, like a chance romantic encounter or heating up of your love life in some other way, or awesome money that comes out of nowhere, which also could coincide with having to work more, which could bring overstimulation, or just the surprise factor of money coming in can be, a little overwhelming. But it can also bring financial and love surprises that aren't welcome. So a fight with your beloved, an expense, or some other challenging financial news. Generally, the things that happen with these Venus-Uranus oppositions are quick to blow over. So if there's a fight, usually it will pass quickly. If there's a surprise with money, it usually tends to settle its way out pretty quickly. But do be aware that this transit that actually occurs on November 30th, on December 1st, is when these surprise energies are more common. And whenever I give you exact dates, remember that the transits don't always manifest as far as our experience of them on the exact date that they happen. So days before 12/1 and days after 12/1, you could experience these shocks or surprises. Okay, so that's the first thing to look out for this month. Something in general for the month of December to watch out for or to be aware of is that we've got a ton of Sag energy. This brings upliftment. This Mercury is going to move into Sag, so we've got these three planets moving in Sag, making aspects with each other. And I'll talk about some of the dates that are really amazing from these getting together. But the general energy of busyness, of travel, of learning, of teaching, people who are in the teaching businesses or speaking or publishing could be lighting up like the 4th of July for every sign. Anything having to do with international travel plans or long distance travel plans can be heated up here. Anything with languages, international business, anything like that. So, and in general, optimism, busyness, running around, and kind of possibly exhausting yourself, which now we move into this talk here, okay? So all these Sag energies are going to be here bringing all this busy stuff in. And then at some point, each of these are going to be making squares, 90-degree angles. Challenging, could be stressful, with these Pisces planets. So the way I always see that, and I have a very personal look at this because I have a ton of planets in Sag myself, and I tend to run myself to exhaustion. So a lot of that is going to be a theme of this month, running yourself to exhaustion. And the Pisces planets are going to be calling out for rest. Z's. You want to get more sleep and you want to get more rest. So this extroverted, busy energy is going to be competing with this sleep and rest and kind of a dreamy, artistic flow, emotional energy. So you'll see throughout the month points where those conflict. And if you take the warning to rest, you can save yourself from the overexhaustion and try to find a perfect balance, which ultimately, these 90-degree angles can help you do. So rest is going to be in order, busyness is going to be in order, and that's going to be a big theme of the month. Okay, so let's look at some other aspects here that were going to be important. So Mercury is going direct, as we said, on the 6th. So expect some awkwardness there as Mercury changes direction. And then the shadow period runs until 12:25. On 12:18, we have Venus post-transit shadow period finishing off. So then Venus is clear. Okay, and then on December 6th and 7th, depending on your time zone, we've got the new moon in Sagittarius. That's going to be at 15 degrees. And so new beginnings and time to make your new moon wishes in all of the areas of everything Sag, which we talked about before. Different countries, languages, cultures, teaching, learning, travel, international work, also spiritual or religious projects, writing, publishing, speaking. There's going to be an aspect with Mars and Neptune bringing an extra dreamy energy. See, Mars and Neptune are going to be together at the time of that new moon. And some things that come in may feel like they're too wonderful to be real. Very dreamy energy there. We're also going to have this time, as Mercury is still in Scorpio, trining Chiron. And that's going to be on 12/9, which is an extra sweetness, healing, solutions are more likely to roll in at that time. December 20th, mark a big star in your calendar for the days around December 20th through the 22nd. Okay, we're going to really 12/20, 12/21, 12/22. What happened there? There we go. Because on those days, first we're going to have the Sun trine Uranus. Okay, so it's going to make a 120-degree angle, the most favorable in all astrology. So a boost to anything and everything. This could bring happy surprises. It's more likely to bring happy surprises. Also, Venus is making a beautiful aspect at that time with Neptune. And one of the biggest things is that this Mercury is going to come and make this conjunction with Jupiter, which very often brings enhanced luck, good news, amazing things in the areas of Sagittarius that we mentioned. And so I'm putting this day and this period of time as my favorite launch days of the month. So even though, like I had said, Mercury doesn't regain its full strength till 12/25, the days that are just before that have so much beautiful energy. So if you have to bust something out, these days could be perfect for that. There'll be more time in January and into February if you're not quite ready, but there's an amazing energy about, busting forth at this time. Okay, so on December 22nd, we have a full moon at almost 1 degree of Cancer. And there's a little challenge with Mars and also some sweet aspects working at one with Uranus. But in general, that full moon can bring lots of family awesomeness. There is a chance for a little bit of conflict with the Mars and also a Chiron aspect. But many people will have amazing family fruition, fun, emotional, mostly for the good, but there could be some little tweaks in there. But just typical holiday family awesomeness, very likely around that time. Okay, so then there are some other aspects towards the end of the month. which is, let's see, 1228. We've got another sweet aspect with Venus. See, during this month, Venus is going to come and make a nice aspect to Saturn, and then Venus is going to make a nice aspect to Pluto. So this is going to be really good for sweetness in your relationship. This can be really great for good news involving work and money. So there are lots of great boosts involving Venus, which is perfect because we're clear of the Venus retrograde energies and everybody's pretty much raring to go. Okay, so those are the things that I most wanted to talk about for the general transits. Definitely mark those dates in your calendar for really great energies. So then we will head into January just really with a legitimate feeling of a new year. If you've been listening to my reports for years, you know that I talk about certain Januaries because of certain transits not really feeling like a new year. But this January is really going to feel like a new year. And all of these things in December are leading up to that open energy. So we love that. Something else that is important to note if you are a holiday shopper, that because the energies from Mercury are still strong at the beginning of the month, it actually favors last minute shopping. So the closer you're getting to the holiday times, the more energy, more clear the energy will be. Okay, so just so you have that heads up for holiday shopping, the later part, the couple of weeks before the holiday times, are best for shopping even compared to November and early December. Okay, so those are the things most on my mind for the general transits. So I hope you loved the added component of the visuals for the charts. If you would like to have my personal insights about your chart, then definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com and book a live reading. If you resonate with how I teach astrology and you want to learn more for personal or professional purposes, if you'd like to be an astrologer or include astrology as part of your professional offering, then I am going to be enrolling now, December into January, for the next run of my astrology apprenticeship program. So you can see that at anniehelpsyou.com, plus lots of other offerings there. If you'd like written horoscopes by me for your sign each month, go to cozybysweetstarlight.com. At cozybysweetstarlight.com, I will write about some things that I mention in the videos, but sometimes I talk about other stuff that I don't cover in the videos. So you get more information about what the month looks like for you, and plus great reads for each sign and lifestyle blogs by me and up-and-coming bloggers that I have on my site. If you're a traveler, then definitely check out my astrology travel reports, my monthly astrology travel reports at AstrologyKissed Travel Bliss. At astrologykissedtravelbliss.com, you get those monthly travel astrology reports plus other travel blogs and lots of beautiful pictures on all of my sites. So they're definitely something to see. If you're into tarot, you want to learn tarot, you want a tarot reading, then definitely check out my husband's work, B.R. Newman, at iamhelios.com, iamhelios.com. You can check out his amazing offerings there. So I hope you have a wonderful month and a wonderful end to your year. And I'll see you next year. Bye.